What's going on, everybody? Coach Pat here, coming to you live and direct. And since you're seeing this face in the Facebook group, that means that our Fix Your Form Clinic is happening once again. Yes, October 16th, this Saturday, 7:45 a.m. We're going to take the whole hour, 7:45 to about 8:40, like right before the next session actually starts. We're going to take that whole time and we're going to work on our barbell squat. So if you've never done a barbell squat before, maybe you're experienced, but you want to come in and maybe perfect your form a little bit more. Or maybe you are already a pro, but you want to come in and try to do like a 5-rep max or so. This is the time to do it. I'll be there leading you guys off and we'll be getting after it, all right? So I just want to go over a few cues and a few things to kind of remember when you're doing your barbell squat, especially for those of you who can't make it this Saturday, but you still want to have some things that you can practice at home. These are still things that you can do at home with a broomstick, a PVC pipe. No matter if you have weight or you're going without weight, the form should be the same every single time. And especially when it comes down into going up in heavier weight, it becomes more about the technique. You want to make sure that you have your technique down as much as possible. You want to make sure it's as perfect as you can possibly get it. So when it comes to the heavier loads and the heavier sets that we do throughout these workouts, you're able to not only do it, but you're able to feel comfortable and you're able to power through it. All right. So a few things to go over. All right. So before we even unrack the bar, and you'll see this when you'll see the clips at the end, before we even unrack the bar, we want to make sure that the bar is directly on our traps right here as opposed to our neck. So I try to get a different angle so you guys can see. It might be a little hard to see for some of you, but you want to make sure that the bar is sitting on the pillows of your back or the top of your shoulders right here. We call these the traps. We never want to have the bar directly on our neck right here. All right. We never want to have the bar too high. So if it's all the way up there, all right, you'll feel a strain on your neck, especially if you go up and wait a little bit. So you want to make sure that you'll adjust, and you'll see me in the video kind of adjust a little bit, make sure the bar is where it needs to be. All right. Next up, we want to make sure that our hands are directly outside of our shoulders. Now, as far as how wide or how far out your hands are, that's really a preference. I prefer to have mine a little closer. All right, but I know some people like to grab out a little farther out. So if you're one of those people, that's fine. Just make sure that you have a comfortable position to where you actually have control of the bar. All right, because that's what your hands are there for, to keep the bar level, to keep it in line, to make sure that the bar doesn't tilt one way or the other. All right, so that's number 2. From there, we want to make sure that our feet are at least shoulder width apart. Now, you'll see me in the clips. I prefer to squat at a little wider stance. I feel I have a stronger base that way, but not everybody likes that. Not everybody prefers that. Some people like to just have their feet shoulder width, but at least shoulder width. All right, have your feet at least shoulder width apart. And if you need to go a little bit further, then you go a little bit further out. All right, just in case you're like me and you need a stronger base and you feel a little bit more comfortable at a wider stance, but at least shoulder width apart. From there, we're going to break down into the actual squat. Now, you'll notice in the clip, you'll notice in the video that the form does not change at all. My head stays straight outside of the couple times I looked just to check to see where my feet were. But outside of that, my head is straight. It's not up too high here, and it's not down too low. We're keeping it straight the entire time, even though I'm going up and down there. My head is straight. All right, the chest is up. The hips are coming down as low as we can go. And then we're powering through the squat, finishing up strong at the top. All right. Now, when we finish out our squat at the top, you want to make sure that your hips are in line with the rest of your body. What tends to happen, especially with people who have never done squats before, or maybe they're a little bit newer to squats, they tend to leave their hips behind. So they'll have like this arched back position. Right. And then for those of you out there who already have a little bit of lower back pain, it's not going to feel nice no matter what weight that you have on the bar. So what we're going to do is when we finish that squat and we're down at the bottom, we're powering through and we're finishing up, standing up nice and tall at the top. So similar to that deadlift, how I said you need to finish out strong at the top. The squat is the same exact way. You need to finish that squat strong at the top and then you repeat. All right. So once again, make sure that the bar is not directly on your neck. We're having it on our traps. Right. Number 2, we're going to make sure our hands are directly outside of our shoulders. All right. Find that comfortable position so you can have control over the bar. Next up, you're going to unrack the weight. Make sure your feet are at least shoulder width apart. If you need to go a little further, then go a little further. And then from there, you're going to perform the squat, chest up tall, keeping your head up straight, completing the squat, going as low as you can go, hips down, and then complete your rep at the top by standing up tall. All right. Now, hopefully you guys wrote that stuff down. I'll make sure to type it in the description or the comments so you guys can actually see. And then we're going to go into the clip. So pay attention to how I'm squatting. Pay attention to the form. Notice how it doesn't change no matter what rep I'm on, no matter how many reps I do. I try to get 2 different angles for you guys so you guys can kind of see where my hips are, where my chest is, where my feet are, where my hands are, where my head is. So if it's a little hard to see for some of you, I apologize, but I try to get 2 different angles so you guys can see. But let's get into those clips. Barbell squat happening this Saturday. All right, one of my personal favorites, one of the granddaddies of all the moves. Like, that's like my all-time favorite move. And we're gonna break it down segment by segment, section by section. All right, and we're gonna perfect it the best way we can. So let's get into the clips.
Just wanna hold it, don't wanna swim it over. It feels like you got it.